So, hey guys, Chauzu here. Today I'm going to do some complaining. I love to complain. And I want to complain about something I hear a lot of you guys complain about. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone specific, but I'm sure some of you hold this opinion or you most likely heard it from someone else. And that complaint is we get too many legends in One Piece treasure cruise nowadays. Heck, on Reddit the other day, I read someone say, I miss when we just got 10 legends per year. I think that's an extreme that not many agree about. But it seems to be a community consensus that there are too many legends. And I want to say that I can't disagree more. I'm not saying I want even more legends, but personally, I wouldn't be against weekly legends either. And let me explain why. But first, let's get some background. Let's look at the collection, and I just love this feature. Like, sure, it's nice to get gems, it's nice to have the artwork, but the thing I really like is the Sugure list. This makes it so easier to talk about a lot of stuff. But yeah, here are all of the legends we have. We currently have 253 legends by the time I make this video. And we have a few different types of legends. We have the Super Sugo legends, Annie legends, PvP legends, Treasure Map legends, and we have Kisuna legends. Ace is his own thing, we're not going to talk about him today. And we have normal legends. So for a long time in this game, we only had normal legends, like in the beginning. I happened to press one. In the beginning, it was like once a month, for every 2 months, we got a new legend. Then we didn't get much at all. Then another legend. I think we had batches with only rare recruits as well. Like, I didn't play back then. I started during the Stampede celebration on Global. But eventually, we started getting legends monthly, what we call the end of month batch. And the end of month batch lives on to this day. And I will say that one of my other pet peeves, which is linked to this, is when we're getting an end of month batch. And as I said, we've had an end of month batch for years. Basically, end of the month, we get 1 or 2 or 3 legends that are the end of month batch, and they are basically set the theme for the upcoming month. And this batch is usually around payday, basically, when people usually get paid from their work, so they have money to spend. And sometimes today, when we have end of month batch, I can hear new legends again. Bandai's also greedy. Can it be like back in the day? Blah blah blah. You know, the usual thing people complain about this. And I'm like, I get it if you complain about like PvP or Treasure Map or Kisuna, but how can you complain about end of month legends? I just wanted to say that makes no sense to me. One thing I will note, not really related to this video, is that we have less normal legends today. Because a lot of the end of month batches belong to the Super Sugo Fest type or the Annie type. And also some end of month batches nowadays are just one legend. So it ends up being that there's not that many normal legends per year. But normal legends are very easy to get also. So the main thing people spend their gems on are for the limited legends. So Super Sugo Fest, Annie, PvP, TM, and Kisuna. And I've also noted that not many complain about Super Sugar Fest. People usually think it's good. It's like Bandai telling them that these are the stuff you need to pull for, so you know what to save for. You know when the Super Sugar drops. It's for the EAP anniversary. It's sometime in August, September. And it's for New Year. So people know, okay, I pull on the Super Sugo, save for the next Super Sugo, pull on that, etc, etc. If I have some gems over, I might pull on something else. That's basically it. So let's focus most on what I think people are the most annoyed about, which is PvP legends, Treasure Map legends, and Kisuna legends. But I also have a personal observation that one of these people are not that annoyed for. If you have a guess for which of these people are not as annoyed as the others, feel free to think about that. I'm going to return to that later. But first, the premise of this video is that I disagree with a lot of legends being bad. And the main reason of this, I thought we'd use the current Kisna to talk about this. Let's go to the notice. Here we have the Kisna Sugofest. And first, I want to talk about unit quality. Like every Kisna, we get Kisna rare recruits. Even if we don't have a legend, we still get rare recruits. So it basically means that if we don't get a legend, we always get a Kisna rare recruit. I don't really hear complaints about rare recruits. It's always about legends. Like people have a general annoyance with booster, but that's another discussion. The focus is always on the legends. It's almost like people get happy, like, oh yes, not the legend this time. And I'm like, is it something to be happy about? First, I want to ask you, if I scroll through this list, this vast list of Kisna rare recruits, how much of these units do you really know? Like, do you know if they do an attack boost? Do you know if they do an ore boost? Color affinity? What utility they have? I'm sure you know a few of them. I know quite a bit. I use these occasionally, but I'm hard pressed to remember everything. Like, I know Marco now and Frankie since they are new. I've totally forgot what Speed and Hamlet does. If we press them and look. They had Tadams and Shenanigans. They did try a 3-turn ore boost. They have some utility, like, they aren't necessarily bad, but they are nothing you really remember. It's like when you team build, you might look through your box, sort for what you need. They might show up and it's like, I could finally use this, cool. But that's all they are. Very few of these have anything special or unique going on. It's just 1 or 2 buffs, some utility or manip, and we are out of there. Very few exceptions, like maybe these Germa brothers and such that are pretty unique and cool, based with the V2 Reiju and the Super Sugo Sanji that we got. But other than that, all of these are pretty cookie cutter units. If you compare this with the legends, like, I'm not saying every legend is super cool, unique and everything, but they have a very high chance of being better, more unique, and see more use. Like, I think these 3 are pretty good. Like, a lot of you might not use Perspera a lot, but he's very unique with his ability to give great luck that can be changed. He has very low potential CD and can reduce CD even more. And yeah, just one of the cooler speedrunning units. He even has a special ready very early. This is obviously way better than any rare recruit is in general. I don't really think I need to talk about Toki and Sabo Ace. So the main point I'm making here is that more legends in general means more puzzle pieces, more chances of Bandai really getting something good for us. And even if it's not the best, it has more chance of seeing viable use than a random rare recruit would. That's one thing. Another thing is raids. So not only are legends better, but they are also easier to pull. I don't know if all of you know this, but legends have a set rate. The only real difference is if we have a Sugofest with all legends available, like for the big celebrations. On those, most legends have lower rates, but the combined value of getting any of the new legends is the same as pulling a legend on a normal Sugo, if that makes sense. The normal rate is 0.5% for a legend, and that's to pull them randomly. Then we obviously have a lot of specific step-ups for legends. They can be part of the Sugo image, then you can pull them as a recommended character as well. Like, you're just more likely to pull a legend than any of these random units. Like, all of these units basically have half the rate of legends. So not only are they worse, you're not going to pull them for a long time. And like, even on debut, they are lower rate than the legends, like Mark and Frankie did Sugo, like 0.35%. Way less than a legend. Pretty hard to get them without a recommended step, new character step, something like that. So why do we complain then? And I want to talk about one mode where I don't hear that many complaints. I think many of you have guessed it, but I'm talking about treasure map. And if we go to the tavern a bit and look at the treasure map Sugos, I think I know two of the reasons. One of them is the fact that treasure map, like other big celebrations, has 3 parts. And what matters with this, if we look at the event info, is that you have a higher chance every month of being able to pull on a part that has units you lack. This Kisna, for example, has none of the Kisna legends I lack, but I was able to pull from Namek Arena. Even so, it's not perfect. There's no green bull available this time, for example. This month in particular was pretty bad for a treasure map Sugo Fest. Usually there are like 4 treasure map legends per part. Now it's only for part 1, the others only have 3 for some reason. But also by having multiple parts means that you basically have 3 chances per month to have a part that's pretty good for you. For Kisna, for example, it's 1 part per month. That means 12 chances per year. While for treasure map, it's 36 times per year. Like, it's quite a difference. You're more likely to have like a treasure map part that matters. Another thing that also matters, which is like even more clear if we compare with like PvP Sugos, is the fact that treasure map units, legends in particular, actually have a real benefit for the mode. Perma boosters with the reduced CD, always giving points, letting you build good teams even without pulling. The benefit for the other modes, Kisuna, PvP, it's just not there. Like, what benefit does it have to pull Ace? Like this PvP final wasn't even a super one. So you only pull for the Ace to like make a better team. And yeah, same for like the PvP legends. And on top of that for PvP legends is that they are usually bad. I think Apu is pretty good, unique with his special and such. That's not a discussion. But they don't get super specials. They really have interesting captain abilities. So I totally get that. But Kisna legends are usually pretty strong, well designed. But in the end still pretty hated. And I do think a big part of that is the fact that they just don't help that much in Kisna, at least not like treasure map legends for treasure map. But with that said, like, you're free to have any opinion you want, but like in my book, more legends is mainly a positive, at least as long as Bandai keeps making interesting legends. We definitely have duds from time to time, but in my book, every new legend is a new potential puzzle piece for the future to make cool teams and make new Grand Voyage teams, like whatever it is, more puzzle pieces. And there's also no reason to pull right away. Like, you can use them as friend captain if needed. And eventually when you pull, you will have just extra value since you have higher chance of getting good stuff rather than just pulling for one specific thing on a Sugo and the rest just being a vast ocean of mostly irrelevant stuff where maybe a small part of that is something that could be interesting. But with legends, at least, it's more viable to pull them if you do invest in a certain Sugo Fest. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.